In the luxury restaurant, everything was designed for the perfect picture. Glasses aligned, candles at the exact height, plates coming out with sauce drawn in millimetric lines. In the middle of this magazine scene, Osias stood out. Black, a dwarf, fat, face marked by old acne, smile way too wide for the polished standard of the house. He was the waiter who knew customers' names, remembered their favorite wine, pulled the chair for the elderly lady to sit, till the day the owner decided he was ruining the image. He pulled Osias from the dining room and hid him in the back. What the boss didn't imagine is that, along with the waiter, he was removing the restaurant's soul. Osias never had the kind of body the world expects to see in an advertisement photo. Very short, wide, black, with a face full of marks. He grew up hearing that, at best, you'll serve tables if you're lucky. Hey, and he was. He got in as a helper in a fancy restaurant in town, started polishing glasses, then carrying dishes, and eventually became a waiter. He wasn't the tallest or the slimmest or the most photogenic, but he was the only one who asked if the customer was feeling better after last week's flu, who remembered that the couple at table 7 liked their risotto with a little extra cheese. Without noticing, he became the reason many people came back. At first, no one cared much about how Osias looked. The restaurant was still growing, any customer was a victory, and anyone who served with care was welcome. He did everything, rushed on his short legs between tables, balanced plates with double effort, memorized the entire menu, from imported cheeses to the name of the fish of the day. Over time, the place became famous. Influencers started showing up. Photos began to circulate on Instagram. Magazines wrote articles. That's when the owner started looking at his own dining room differently. He began talking about visual standards, house aesthetics, image coherence. And one day, in the middle of a casual comment, he dropped, "Guys, seriously, we can't have a gorgeous table photo ruined by a waiter like that in the frame." Like that. Without saying the rest, everyone understood. Some taller, slimmer, lighter-skinned waiters smirked. Osias pretended not to hear, but the phrase kept echoing in his head. A few days later came the direct blow. The owner called him into the office, door closed, air conditioning too cold. "Osias, you know I like you, right? You're a good guy. Customers like you." Uncomfortable pause. "But now the restaurant is at another level. We need a more aligned image." He swallowed hard. "I don't understand, boss. I'm moving you to support in the kitchen, storeroom, bar. You'll keep helping, but no direct contact with the public. Don't take it personally. It's just visual. A luxury restaurant needs a magazine look." It felt like a punch, disguised as a professional talk. The next day, he was no longer on the floor. He stayed in the back, washing dishes, sorting drinks, hearing from a distance the buzz of a dining room he once knew, table by table. Cliffhanger. What the owner only realized later was that by removing the waiter who didn't fit the aesthetic, he had also removed the only real reason customers were truly loyal. The first weeks without Osias in the dining room seemed normal. The new waiters were tall, slim, all with the same practiced smile. They knew the script. "Good evening, welcome. This is our tasting menu." But they knew nothing about people. The couple who celebrated their anniversary there every year noticed first. They sat down, looked around, and didn't see the small waiter hurrying over to pull out her chair. "Where's Osias?" the woman asked. "He's been moved to another position," a waiter replied with a plastic smile. The food was still pretty, but something in the atmosphere had shifted. No one remembered that she didn't eat spicy food, that he preferred his water without ice, that their favorite wine was always the same. As months went by, different reviews started popping up on apps. Good food, but cold service. Beautiful restaurant, but impersonal, I won't be back. It used to feel warmer. Now it's like you're bothering them. In the back, between one tray and another, Osias heard fragments of conversations from waiters passing by. "Table 10 skipped dessert. The guy at table 3 said he misses an old waiter. What was his name?" "I think that's you, Oseas," joked a co-worker from the bar. "You're being missed out there, man." One night, on an especially empty weekend, the owner stormed into the kitchen, waving his phone. "Can someone explain these reviews to me? People keep saying the short, chubby, friendly waiter disappeared and that the restaurant lost its charm. What is this?" Oseas stayed silent, but inside he felt a mix of sadness and confirmation. He'd always suspected he made a difference. He just didn't know it would be so obvious when he was gone. Then the owner received a direct message from a long-time client, an important businessman. "If your waiter, Oseas, doesn't come back to the dining room, my team and I won't be returning. The food is good, but it was his way with people that made the place worth it." The penny started to drop. The meeting happened on a Monday, with the restaurant closed to the public. The owner called Oseas into the office. He came in the same way as always, small body, uniform, a bit worn out, eyes wary. "Sit down, Oseas. Park your chair." The owner corrected himself, awkward. He took a breath. "We did it all wrong," the owner began, blunt. "I did it all wrong. I thought the restaurant's image was pretty plates and model-type waiters. Customers started saying something else." He showed him some reviews on the tablet. Comments talking about the short, chubby black waiter, always humble, about the guy who made us feel at home even in an expensive place, about the only reason we crossed the city to eat there. "I pulled you off the dining room thinking I was making the restaurant look better, but without you, it just got empty." Silence. Oseas swallowed the emotion rising in his throat. "What do you want me to do?" he asked, still respectful. "I want you back out front. But not just that. I want you to help me train the team. We don't know how to serve people the way you do." The proposal would have sounded impossible months earlier. He, the waiter, pushed to the back, now being asked to teach what no etiquette course had covered: eye contact, remembering names, genuinely caring. In the following weeks, Oseas started crossing the dining room again with his tray. At first, some customers were surprised by the sudden staff change. Then smiles began to appear. "There you are, we thought we'd lost you. Now the restaurant feels like it used to." Business, which had been slipping, started to climb again. Reservations from old regulars returned. The owner, now more aware, understood that the luxury wasn't just in the expensive chandelier, it was in the way a black, fat, dwarf waiter outside the standard made every person who walked in feel like royalty. For a long time, Oseas believed his body was an apology on legs in the middle of a luxury dining room. Black, a little person, fat, marked face, he heard the unspoken message: "You can serve, but you can't be seen." The boss put it into words when he took him out of sight, as if saying, "You do a good job, but it's better if no one sees you." But the customers did see him. They saw him when he bent his already short body even lower to listen to the child at the table, when he held an old man's coat, when he remembered a favorite wine without looking at the ticket. They saw that behind the appearance the owner called a visual problem. There was the only real reason to call that place special. Maybe you've been pushed to work in the back, away from anyone's eyes, because someone decided you don't fit the front image. Maybe you've been told that your face, your body, your height, your skin color aren't the company's look. If Oseas's story lit a fire inside you, comment "I am not a visual problem" below. Subscribe to Unstoppable Underrated and share this video with someone who's been shoved backstage for not having the right body. And remember, there are bosses learning the hard way that without you, the restaurant, the store, the office can stay pretty in photos, but empty on the schedule.